All right, it's that time again, and now it's officially time for us to do the show because my name is Jason Takhtadjian, and welcome everybody to the talk show. We had some technical difficulties initially, but now we don't. How's it going? My name is Jason Takhtadjian. As I said once again, this is episode 10, and we have a very special guest with us today, Hoori Santikian Kalamkarian. Hoori, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, Jason. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and this isn't the first time that we've met each other. Actually,
True.
We've worked on a couple stories together in the past, but this is the first time that we're actually going to have a chance to sit down together, get to know each other a little bit, and talk about some or a pretty exciting event that's coming up that's going to be put on by you guys with the Armenian school, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so, I mean, first and foremost, let's learn a little bit about each other, shall we? Where were you born? Are you originally from Fresno? And kind of talk to us about a little bit of your background, your family background history.
Sure, yes. So thanks again for having me. This is really exciting, and I'm really excited to talk about the festival and the Purpur tradition, so looking forward to getting into that. I am a Fresno native, and I was raised in Fresno, moved around a little bit for college and graduate school, moved out east a little bit after getting married, and then my husband and I, also a Fresno native, also a graduate of the Armenian school, ended up back here in Fresno and raising our family here now.
Very nice. So you guys are all Fresno pretty much, right?
We're Fresno natives, born and bred, and back.
That's really good. That's awesome. This is my first, stint in Fresno. Before even moving to Fresno, I hadn't ever visited Fresno before.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I was born in Southern California.
Okay.
I was born in Glendale, and when I was about 6 or 7, we moved to Las Vegas, and that's where I was raised. But we never really had, family. I mean, we had some friends, but we never really had family that was in Fresno, so we never had a reason to come. It was always, either go to the Bay Area or go to Los Angeles.
You drive through Fresno, yep.
Right, and I'm just glad now that, I have this opportunity to live here and actually learn about, the area and the people here and the rich Armenian community here. And it feels like every day I'm learning something new about the Armenian community here in Fresno. And we do have a very interesting event that's coming up. I want you to tell us a little bit about Purpur.
We do, yes. We're super excited. The Charlie Kuehn Armenian Community School, this is our 4th year putting on the Purpur Cultural Night. It is an opportunity to join us for some good Armenian food, some authentic music, a whole lot of dancing, performances from the Fresno Armenian Dance Group, as well as our own CKCS Lions. We'll have some vendor booths, just a big festival to really celebrate our culture and to prepare Purpur, which I'm really excited to tell you about.
Yes. Now, before we talk about that and what Purpur actually is, for some folks who don't know, I want to talk about the event offerings that you were talking about. Armenian food, cultural dances, music. What's the vibe of this sort of event? And what's the food that gets served at these type of events as well?
Oh yeah. This is really a festival is the best way to describe it. There's something for everybody. You walk in, you'll be able to just explore and see what part of the event you want to participate in. The food is special. It's going to include this slow-cooked tri-tip that's cooked underground for 24 hours. We start the process the night before. So that's just tender, delicious food, but we complement that with a whole lot of Armenian dishes like chicken kebab. You'll have your Middle Eastern tabbouleh, hummus, mutabel, all those pieces. I don't know, Jason, have you ever made any sarma? Have you had sarma?
You're speaking my music. I'm just in cloud 9 right now. I'm just been transported back to my grandma's kitchen.
There you go.
Everything that you're talking about, the flavor is coming back to me, and I'm just in love. I can't wait to talk about the tri-tip as well, but I want you to continue talking about what else is on it.
Our school moms and grandmas are going to get together the Wednesday before, and they're going to hand make all that sarma for this event. So the stuffed grape leaves.
Yes.
So you'll be able to enjoy that as well. We're going to have a lavash baking station. So lavash is a staple Armenian bread, and we're going to have walks where our folks will be opening up the dough right there and be cooking the lavash right there. So fresh lavash, pair that with some of the cheese that we'll have and some of the greens that'll be on the tables, and the food alone is worth coming out for.
It is worth that alone. It
Yeah.
just sounds so good, and everything that you were saying, again, music to my ears.
Yeah.
The tri-tip I want to talk about real
Yeah.
quick, because you said that it's made 24 hours or
Yeah.
slow roasted 24 hours underground.
Yep.
That's a traditional Armenian way of cooking, no?
Yeah, so a lot of cultures have this too, right? Where we cook underground.
Yeah.
We have our tonirs. We have we use the heat of the soil and of the rocks that surround it to cook the food that is placed in there. So the facility where we're hosting this event is my parents' property, and my dad is all about preserving Armenian culture and heritage. So he built essentially an underground pit where we can participate in these types of traditions, and the meat will be cooked there.
That is so
Yeah,
cool.
very cool.
I've mentioned it before on this show once, but I'll mention it in a little more detail now. When I went to Armenia last year, I went to one of my family members' houses, and it was towards like the village areas, like towards the Mount Ararat area.
Oh, lucky.
And it was, oh my God, they had the tonirs, and it was
Yeah.
the first time that I'd ever seen that, and just like the cooking style of being able to put the meat and the skewers all the way down in the ground, seeing the glow of all the charcoal in the bottom of the pit, and then again, like the flavor whenever you cook meat like that is just totally different.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Totally.
And I know some folks, in Fresno, both Armenian and not Armenian, have told me that the area is known for tri-tip. So like it feels like everybody's crazy for tri-tip in this area. So learning about that different type of cooking style with the tri-tip, I think that's a recipe for success.
Yeah, no, it's really delicious, and it's definitely worth experiencing for sure.
No, absolutely. Now, let's talk about like the essence of this event. What is Purpur? Because some people might hear the name and they're like, first of all, okay, it's an Armenian name, or it's just a foreign name. What is this though?
Yeah. So purpur in Armenian means foam, and it refers to the foam that accrues on top of the grape juice when you cook it for like 12 hours or so. And the whole point of purpur, or that cooking of the grape juice, is to preserve the nutrients that are in the grape juice in a way that you can utilize it for your harsh winter to come. Right? That's the origin of the tradition. So it's all about preservation. It's all about retaining the good, the nutrients, the things that sustain us. And so, symbolically, it's really powerful that we as a school commemorate Purpur, because it really is what we do as a school. So that's what brought us to this festival. But Purpur itself is an age-old Armenian tradition of celebrating the harvest of the grapes by preparing this grape juice, and then you enjoy that foam, the actual purpur, at the end, at the culmination of the cooking of the molasses, which you'll get to do that night. So we'll celebrate and say it's purpur. We've reached that point, that culmination, and we'll actually pass out that foam.
Right.
You enjoy it with a bay leaf as a spoon, using a bay leaf as a spoon.
Wow. I mean, I would just not to make jokes or anything, but like I didn't know that purpur was foam. I didn't know that was that's so interesting. Us Armenians, we have our own type of foam party, and that's the foam party
there
that
you
we
go.
have.
This is our foam party for sure.
This is our version of
This is our foam party.
I love it. I love it because I'll be completely honest. When I first moved to Fresno, I didn't know about this event. This is something that I'm an Armenian American. I didn't grow up in Armenia or didn't grow up in that community, because it was between Vegas and LA, and I never really was like solid on one community. So whenever I moved to Fresno, I first learned about this last year. Wasn't able to make it out. I really want to make it out to Purpur this year.
I hope you make it. Yeah.
I absolutely have to be there. Just everything that you've said so far, and more things we're going to be talking about, just really excites me for this event. But this is just like so new and unique for me to learn about. And like you said, it's about preservation of Armenian culture, right? Because for folks who don't know, we've been making wine for thousands of years.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yep. No, I mean, winemaking, making this molasses, all of this is part of our history. This particular part of our culture comes from like the village of Kesab in Syria. So the Armenian community there, which like hundreds and hundreds of years has been present in Kesab, they were the ones who would commemorate Purpur specifically. And so my dad's side of the family is Kesabtsi. So that's how we as a family celebrated Purpur my entire life. 40 plus years. We have done this annually, and so now the school is continuing that tradition.
That is so neat. My grandpa on my dad's side of the family, he's from Aleppo. So we have the Syrian Armenian connection there.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I definitely, it's very interesting for me to learn about different traditions and cultures in the Armenian community, because the Armenian community is so expansive and it just expands so many different places.
Yeah.
This event right here definitely seems like it has its own legs here in Fresno. Like you said, you guys have been celebrating it for decades here in Fresno, right?
We have, absolutely. We as a family have done it for decades, and different groups have also, had different iterations of it. But this is really exciting for our school to be the ones now to continue to carry on the torch of it.
Do you remember the first year that the school was doing it or being part of it? I know you said this is 4 years ago. Just what was that like for you guys?
Oh my goodness, that first year. I mean, it's putting together an event that, like you, a lot of people didn't know about. So it's not exactly the easiest word to say. So you're trying to advertise it, getting people out there. Learned a lot from that first year, but it was still just so much fun. It was so clear that this was a unique opportunity for folks to come together and celebrate our culture. And so we've been able to continue to do it since.
That's awesome.
Lots of different pieces to it. And it actually is really fitting that the Fresno community is the one that really keeps it going, because we're such an ag-focused community here, right? So it makes a whole lot of sense that we would be the ones to continue to hold on to this tradition.
There's literally no better place in California.
No
you could argue in the country. Like if you want to go to the Midwest, I mean, sure, but who's making wine over there, right? Or who's growing grapes to be more specific. I mean, California is the place for that to be, and we're the place when it comes to that. And you said it's your family's farm, right?
It is done on our family's property. Yes, we use the grapes from CMC Farms, which is another farm that also is a school community, because it's a specific variety. We use the Thompson variety of grapes just for the different sugar levels and things like that.
Gotcha.
So thank you to them always for opening up their doors to us. But yes, the actual event is at my parents' property, and we'll continue to do that for now.
That is so neat. Now, I asked you about your memories from like the first event whenever the school was involved.
Yeah.
What about your first memory in general?
Oh my goodness.
Like all the way back.
All the way back. This was the thing I would look forward to as a child.
Really?
Every year, because it was a chance for our family to come together. Close friends would come together. There was a whole lot of singing. We learned a lot about different authentic Armenian folk songs. Just sitting around the fire pit once the molasses was done cooking and hearing that. So there's something very organic about the whole experience, and as a child, you feel that, and you feel that richness and that tradition and that love, and it really was something to look forward to every year. And you get to, I think the part I didn't mention is that we would go out as like the kids go out and actually pick the grapes ourselves. Like, how fun is that to go out into the fields early in the morning? Because you got to pick the grape, you got to wash it, you got to go through 2 filtration processes before you actually cook the molasses.
Okay.
So now the way we do it is our 4th through 6th grade students get to participate in that. So the day before, they have a field trip out to CMC Farms. They do the actual picking. They learn all about the process of cleaning and filtering and everything. So a little bit of chemistry and a little bit of science in there, in a very hands-on way. And then they get to participate in the actual making of the molasses the following day. So cool. It's a whole lot of fun. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
that's
really
a memory
cool.
that I'm sure will stay with the kids and obviously for the parents for such a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that is so neat. You know, like for the kids, I mean, when you hear the words field trip, you just get so excited.
Right?
And now you're going to be part of this event.
Field trip.
Yeah, no,
you're going out to the field.
You're literally putting the field in field trip. Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah. And then they go and do this, and who doesn't have fun picking, grapes or fruits or anything like that in general. I mean, I've had my fair share already being in the Central Valley doing these sort of ag-related stories. It's so much fun. But it's also, kind of a way for the kids to get into the ag field, I guess, in a way, or get interested in that.
Absolutely.
And for this part of California, for this area, I think it's especially important, especially we see a lot of Armenian farmers.
Yeah, lots of Armenian farmers. A lot of them at our school. I mean, that's a big part of our Fresno Armenian history, right? That's where we started when we first came to the valley as farmers, and continuing that tradition is important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is a very special way to continue tradition when it comes to both sides, right? Farming here in Fresno, but also upholding Armenian culture and identity and history. Right. And, I guess I'll ask you, now especially right now, why would you say it's important to continue to do these sort of cultural events and be able to uphold our culture, to teach the next generation why it's important to remember and know what we are and who we are, where we come from?
Yeah, you know what? One of our moms said this once, and I'm going to borrow it from her. So the school isn't just about preserving our Armenian culture and language. It really is becoming about reviving it. And we're at a point, I think, as an Armenian people where we need that revival for our survival, right? We need our kids, even if we don't speak Armenian, even if we don't know how to read and write in Armenian, for them to know our language, for them to know our history, to know geopolitically where, how we're faring right now. I mean, really for us to be able to continue and survive as a nation, as a culture, our Armenian schools and the role that they play in teaching the next generation and in reviving in them a love for our culture is an important piece. And CKACS is that's our mission. That's what we do. That's what we're going to continue to do. We are looking to expand into what we're calling our legacy campus. As our enrollment grows and as interest in the school grows, we're looking to build on that momentum. So come out on September 20th, and you'll have a whole table there on our Legacy Campus project and the work that we're doing there to continue in that preservation and in that revival.
Yeah, I mean, not to get too deep, but I do want to ask you like a follow-up question to that, and that is, why do you think there needs to be a revival?
It's a really good question. Yeah, why do we need to exist as a people, essentially? Mm-hmm. Our culture has a lot to offer. Our people have had, they've contributed in entrepreneurial ways. They are creative. We're problem solvers. We have a lot to offer. And I think seeing the good in all that we have done as a people, and I feel passionate about being part of continuing to build on that and to make sure that we're around to continue to do more of that good work.
Absolutely. See, part of the reason why I asked that question, why does there need to be a revival, is because for me, growing up as only 27-year-old now, I can compare, what it's like now to feel like being an Armenian compared to 10 years ago, let's say. And between now and 10 years ago, there's been so much change. Yeah. And there's been a lot of, I'll be honest, a lot of negative things put towards Armenian ways. Mm-hmm. And that's impacted non-Armenians who look at Armenians a certain way now. Yeah. And I think it's important that, we have positive role models. We have positive events. We have positive things to look forward to in the Armenian community, because that paints our picture and that continues to show what we do. If we continue to uphold certain people who are not the best role models for our kids, let's be honest, and they're a part of the Armenian community, have big following, then it's kind of, I think, a recipe for just continuing to go downhill as far as our overall image. But if we continue to uphold positive events like Purpur or positive people in the Armenian community or the Fresno community or wherever it may be, I think that helps us all in the long run and helps us with our overall identity and image, especially here in the United States.
Absolutely.
And, I do appreciate all the work that you're doing, because I think, Armenian schools here in the United States are doing a big service to Armenian communities and Armenian families, because, we're in this melting pot of the United States. It's very easy to get lost in the, American society and getting, meshed into it, I guess, is the way that I'm saying it. And
there's a whole lot to offer there. Like there's a lot, there's a lot of value in the Armenian American part of our identity, but also knowing that Armenian piece and knowing knowing where you've come from. I mean, as a parent now, I see how important it is for my kids to have a strong sense of identity, to carry that with them as they continue into the world, and part of being at a school like CKACS is instilling them a strong sense of identity, a strong sense of pride, a strong sense of purpose on why I'm here and what it is that I'm contributing to the world. And that really is, that's essential. That carries you into your adolescence and into your adulthood and gives you a sense of direction. And that's really important.
And it's important, in my opinion, just from experience, to be connected to the Armenian community at an early age, because, you build those lifelong friends, you build connections, and you grow closer to your culture. And I think those are all positive things, especially nowadays when things seem so accessible on a phone and you can just do whatever you want to do at the click of a button.
Yeah.
I mean, life is not supposed to be that easy always. But, at the same time, just having the access nowadays to information about our culture, even though we're thousands of miles away, I think is so vital. So I want to thank you for that personally.
No, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're getting towards the tail end of the show, and I want to kind of talk a little bit more about Purpur and just, let's say somebody's going to go for the first time ever.
Yeah.
What are they going to expect when they pull up to the to the property?
Well, let me paint you a picture. You're going to drive up. You're going to be among vineyards. So already, I think, a calming environment. Be greeted by folks who will take you with golf carts or to the actual event site, or you can walk on over there. When you get there, you'll see, like I said, a festival environment. On one side, you've got vendor booths, so those will be really fun. We're there. We've got alumni who are there. We've got folks who have Armenian-specific items that they've prepared to sell. All of it is around this theme of our culture and heritage. So you can go explore those vendor booths, take a look at anything that you might like, household items, things like that. This year, for the first time, we're going to have a section where there's like informational tables. So a few informational tables. Part of our service to the community as a school. Use this as an opportunity where other Armenian organizations or events can help can demonstrate to the community what it is that they do. So this year we're going to have our 3 main Armenian camps represented: AYF camp, Camp Arev, and High Camp. They'll be there.
Nice.
Go check those out if you've got kids. You can go find out more about summer camp opportunities. Never too early. I know those summer camps are hard to plan as a parent, but never too early to get started. Learn a little bit about that, and then head on over into the main event site. Get some appetizers. There'll be a whole kids section. So even that is Armenian themed. So our young kids will be able to do different coloring activities or craft activities that relate to Armenian dadas, we call them, Armenian costumes. So the things that Armenian dancers wear. We'll have a photo station where you could actually put on some Armenian dadas, Armenian gear, and take some pictures there, and then enjoy the food and get to know the people who are there. We do have entertainment, really robust entertainment. You'll have the Armenian dance group, I said, like they'll be there doing a couple pieces, and then our CKCS Lions are going to be performing a few songs. So you'll get to enjoy that. And then you make sure, there's no way to miss it, but you'll make sure to walk over to the actual fire pit, which is really in the center of all the tables. And there you can see the actual molasses being cooked.
So cool.
and just waiting for the culmination of that foam. We use a hollowed out gourd. Again, that's the tradition, a gourd, because this is coming from olden times, a tradition, but that's what they used as a spoon. So they would hollow it out, dry it out, and we do the same thing. We use a hollowed out gourd to scoop out the molasses and to air it out as it's being cooked. So you'll see that taking place.
That's so cool.
All throughout the night. And then as we get closer to Purpur actually being ready, there'll be a whole lot of dancing, drumming, Armenian drumming, and then you'll hear Purpur being called out, and that means that we have actually hit the point where the foam is ready and it's sweet enough and it's elevating, and we'll be passing those out. So
that is so
bring your
neat.
Dancing shoes if you're coming. Definitely bring your dancing, bring some comfortable shoes so you can explore the whole thing and participate in
I was going to ask, how should I dress? If I'm the one that's coming.
Comfortably. You've got to,
Okay.
it's casual. This is really a village festival. So come ready to have a good time and be able to move around comfortably.
And between what times in the evening?
So we'll be there 6 to 11 o'clock.
Got you.
6 to 11 o'clock.
So it's going to be a party. It's going to be a
It's going to
total
be a party. Last year, I remember like 5:45, I think half the guests were there because people were excited to get there. And we're like, oh my, we got to get people seated. So
oh my God. It's like a rush of people before it started, huh?
So no, people get excited. So 6 to 11 o'clock and just come ready to have a really good time.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
I really do hope at the very least we have like a photographer that gets sent over there to
That
cover
would
it
be
for
a
the
lot of
news.
fun.
Because I have to think about it.
That would be a lot of fun.
Tell me one more time. It's September 20th.
It's September
correct?
20th. It's
And what day
Saturday,
of the week?
September 20th.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So I
Saturday,
usually
September
work the
20th.
weekends, but I'm gonna have to try to see if I can
think
like
you're gonna
come and
have to
swing
be
by.
there. Yeah.
I have to be there
exactly.
non-working so I can
There you
enjoy
go.
all the festivities,
festivities,
that
yeah.
are offered there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Oh my God.
So,
This makes me excited.
Lots of fun.
This makes me excited because, you know, I really do want to get more connected with the Fresno
Awesome.
Armenian community.
Awesome. This
And I
would be
think
the way
this
to
is
do
an
it.
event that, you know, I even heard about before, you know, even talking to you about this and even talking to Marina,
Yeah.
Marina Peters is someone who is a good connection with me. Her and Tata Vikovanisi.
Yes, she's on our
two people.
committee. The
Yeah.
board member, future board member, or previous board members.
Yeah.
So, yep.
They're both
Very
great.
well
They have
connected to
both
the
been key instrumental people
Absolutely.
to introduce me to the community and really
And
welcome
just
me with
fabulous
open arms.
people in general.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's awesome. I'm sure they're going to be there. I'm sure
Yep,
a lot of
they
other
will
people
be.
with the Armenian community are going to be there. And for folks who are watching who are not Armenian, this is a fantastic opportunity
Oh, yeah.
for you to go and just enjoy something that's it's a cultural experience, but you're going to go have food and drinks in a vineyard. Like,
Yeah.
you can't beat that. And it's going to be pretty good weather, I'm pretty sure.
I
You know,
sure
it's
hope so.
hot right now, but we got a whole month to wait, and it's going to cool off by then.
It's
and
gonna
it's going to
cool
be
off.
evening time. It's going to be beautiful.
Absolutely. A nice outdoor setup. So we'll take care of all of that stuff. Just show up and ready to
Awesome.
have a good time.
Remind the folks one more time which location this is at before
So
we
this
get
will
going.
be at Santikian Vineyards, and all the information's on ckcsevents.org.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Hoori, for joining me on this episode. I really
for having me.
appreciate it. And, you know, I hope to have you on soon, you and Marina as well, so we could talk about, you know, Purpur after the fact.
Sounds great.
That'd be awesome. All righty, take care.
All right, thanks.